What is the construct called life? Life today, what is it? What is it? And how can you make the best of it? No matter where you find yourself. Different challenges will come our ways, and it depends on how we respond to those challenges. That is what makes a difference. I cannot say this enough. And so wherever you are, whether you are an employee, employer, wherever you are, you can actually make a whole lot of difference. If you understand how to respond to what life throws at you. You see, for every tree you find, there's a root. And so for all the numerous results that you have that you do not like or you like, both the good and the bad results, depending on where you stand, there's a root cause. So if you find yourself today in a place in life that you do not like, you are not comfortable with, the truth is that you've carried out some actions that have brought you to that point. Until you address those pressing issues, it will be a lot difficult to get out of that space. Now, many of us make decisions today without being aware that we have been programmed to take those decisions. And so we're basically on autopilot. So today, when you watch this video and you take these lessons home, you will eventually get to understand that you will be able to go back, travel back, and find out why you do the things that you do and how you can change your actions so that you can get the results that you desire. You see, except you are made to understand your programming, you will feel normal in doing the wrong things and then getting the results that you do not like. You're getting the results, you're doing the wrong, you're taking out the wrong actions, you're carrying out the wrong actions, and you still do not know because you're an autopilot, you've been programmed to act that way. This is not something that you're going to do in one day. That's why you need to learn and keep learning, unlearning, relearning, keep growing. We're all imperfect. So the more we learn and we grow, the better decisions we make. Sure, you've heard of this statement before. If they knew better, they would have done better. If he knew better, he would have done better. If she knew better, she would have done better. So many a times we make decisions based on our knowledge level. You see, economic power is a result. What you're able to do in order to take care of your loved ones, take care of your bills and all of that, at what level is dependent on the results that you're able to get based on your actions. If you talk about health, for some people, they've been trying for years to cut down on their weight and they've not been able to. It's also a result. Now, I'm not speaking in absolute sense. There might be some exceptions here and there, but think about it. Take a moment to think about it. Where we are today, where you are today, where I am today, is a function of the actions that we have taken over time. I tell you, it's a function of the actions that we have taken over time. So if you're healthy today, it's a result. It's probably because of your eating habit. It's because of your lifestyle. If you're unhealthy today, to a large extent, to a very large extent, health is dependent on what we eat and our lifestyle, basically, what we put in. There's some genetic issues here and there. Sometimes it's some accidental issues, but to a large extent, it's about lifestyle. And so health is a result, like I said, illness is a result. Your weight is a result. It may not sound really palatable for you to hear it from me, but let's take away the emotions and look at how exactly, if there is truth in this or not, because if you are unable to take this hard truth, it'll be hard for you to see where you need to make changes. It'll be hard for me to see where I need to make changes. The truth is, there is no developmental feedback that hits you and you find joy in taking it in. All of us want positive feedback. Oh, you're doing well, it's okay. Let's go. None of us, I don't think any one of us really love blunt feedback. But we have to program our minds to be prepared to receive this blunt feedback, because feedback is the food of champions. So what I'm saying may not really go down well with you. You might be there might be a part of you that's trying to push it back. That's the way our brains are designed. A part of our brain is designed to protect us from getting hurt. But take away your emotions and ask yourself if there is truth in what I'm just sharing with you. We live in a world of cause and effect. You see, this is how it happens. We have what is called our content providers. What you listen to, what you watch, the association you keep, the people you work with, the environment that you find yourself. From that, your content is built into your thoughts. Okay, thoughts can be said to be a collection of your awareness, so to speak. So your thoughts, and then when you think about certain things, you emote. When you think about certain things, they stir your emotions. And the moment you get into a certain level, a certain state, you act. The moment you act, is going to be results. So, if you don't like the results, don't complain about the results. Ask yourself, what did I do that got me to this place? And then go back one step and ask yourself, how was I feeling when I took this action? Then go one step backward and ask yourself, what was I thinking that led to this feeling, that led to this action, that led to these results? If you're unable to deconstruct and go back and see where it went wrong or where it went right, because it depends on, you might have some very good results and you feel like, oh, I love this result. But how did I get here? Many people are unable to explain the results that they get because they weren't paying attention. And that brings to mind this saying that any result that you make, that you create, and you are unable to repeat that result, the first time was a mistake. If you knew what you were doing, if you were in control of the processes, you'd be able to repeat and get the result. But if you're unable, it means it just happened. It was an accident. It was a mistake. And so pay attention to the things that happen around you in your life so you'll be able to tell how you got the result that you got, whether it's a good result by your reckoning or it's a bad result by your reckoning. And so if you're able to deconstruct and go back and say, so what was I thinking that gave rise to this emotion, that gave rise to the action and then the result? Okay, so where did those thoughts, where did they form from? Is it from the movies I watch? Is it from the music I listen to, the books I read, the people I associate with, the environment? Where is this coming from? Or is it about my background, my family background, the people I've been around from the time I was born to schooling, to primary, secondary, or probably university level? What has been happening to me over time? What's the programming? If you're unable to ask these hard questions, as unpalatable as they might be, or they might make you feel, or they might seem, then you might not be able to get the answers as to why you do the things that you do, that gives you, those things that give you the results that you probably don't like, especially when you don't like the results. Because like I said, for every effect you see outside, there is a cause. The effect we see is just the tip of the iceberg of what happens beneath. Every physical creation you see is just a manifestation of the mental blueprint. So you need to go inside and find yourself, what's happening in here. Find out what is happening in here. So my advice to you is focus on the cause rather than the effect. It is very important because your decisions are based on your programming, the way you've been programmed. And when I talk about programming, it's very essential to look at the way we're programmed, because when you're programmed in a certain way, you will be taking actions without necessarily knowing why you're taking actions, because you'll be running on autopilot. It's like a computer. A computer, if you press the start button, it's just going to start. It's not going to ask you, why do you want to use me now? Because it's been programmed to work that way. If you press any key, the Alt, Delete, and Control key, it will give you what you want to. What you desire, what's been programmed to give you. It won't ask you, why are you doing this? So when we're shocked as to other views, and we don't want to see what other views are like, other people's views are like, or we don't want to learn something new, it's simply because we've been programmed that way. And sometimes it's not giving us the results that we want. You see, the results that you have today are a function of the decisions that you've made, and your decisions are a function of the way you've been programmed over time. The decisions you make are a function of your environmental programming, the way you have been raised over a period of time, over a long period of time. So the culture that you've been raised in determines the decisions that you make and the results that you get. You need a success-enabling environment and culture in order to be able to make success-triggering decisions. Now, success might mean anything to you. For some people, it might be material success. For some people, it might be academic success. You see, some people tell you, look, I can't read. Studying is not my thing. Because many a times they've been raised in an environment where the benefits of studying have not been chiseled into their programming. And so it might be spiritual success you're looking for. It might be you want to become a better person when it comes to morals. You want to be able to make better decisions as a person. You want to increase your level of effectiveness, your efficiency. Depending, it could be career success. Whatever it is, understand that your decisions will give you certain results, whether you like them or not. And the decisions that you make are based on your programming over time. The tricky thing about this is that you can't wipe the programming away. It's there in your brain, no matter what. It might just go residual, but it's always there. It's always there. What you need to do is to write another programming. So that is where people get to change their environment, change their associates, get mentors, get coaches, because you need a strong, there's no room in the circle of life, there's no room for vacuum. So you can't just say, I don't want this again, and then you don't refill it, you don't replace it with something else. You've got to replace it with a more powerful environment, more enabling environment, so that you can make decisions fearlessly and be willing to learn and to grow. You see, if we do not, as people, as imperfect as we are, I keep emphasizing this because we're imperfect and it really affects everything that we do. That is why I for one, I do not encourage that you get everything right before you start. I would really encourage you to keep going. Just take one step at a time. So if we do not deal with the programming, being successful in whatever you're doing is just almost impossible, if not really, really impossible. Because you'll be acting in a way that's not benefiting you. Let me give you an example. If you find people that work, there's nothing wrong about jobs, all right? Getting a job, taking care of a family. But some people will come up and say, well, you know what? I can't work like this for another 20 years, 30 years. And then I just depend on my pension and all of that. I really would love to have something to do. Maybe because I need more time for me and my family. Maybe I need more time for other more important things and all of that. And so for that reason, I want to do something else. But they're so scared to even start something else. They're so scared to even start their own business. Let's say they're looking for time. And because they're so scared to start their own business, they never have the time they're looking for. They never probably even have that extra income to take care of their needs, the children's needs. Of course, our needs differ depending on where we live, what part of the world we live in. The needs of people living in developed countries is different from the needs of many people living in developing countries. Right? Economic system and everything, they're all different. But that's why I'm trying to generalize this. You know what your needs are. But are you able to make decisions to help you to actualize your dream, your vision of probably starting a side hustle, starting a business? So why is that? Many people have been trained in that cocoon or in that box of guarantees. That we will not do anything except there is a guarantee. And so they keep looking for a guarantee. Some people keep looking for a perfect guarantee. Otherwise, they're not going to do anything different away from their comfort zones. So here's my advice. Why don't you switch and start looking for possibilities instead of looking for guarantees? So I'll say it again. Look for possibilities and not guarantees. Because that way you are not afraid. Yes, the fear is there, but you acknowledge the fear and still you go one step forward to try something new. For such people, the salary has become a seductress. How do you mean? It keeps you, because you're going to get paid every month, right? And so, but there are other things you could have done to bring value to humanity, to touch people's lives, and you're unable to do that because you're working. And after work, you probably can say, okay, I've given 8-9 hours to my employer. If I've given like 7-8-9 hours to my employer, I want to give 2 hours to developing myself. It's a decision. So that 2 hours, you're probably tired, right? But you have to develop yourself because you have a plan to start something on the side that would eventually help you to break out so that you can have time for your loved ones and you can do other things. But it starts with that decision to take an hour or two to develop yourself, an hour or two to do something else that you perceive to be of intrinsic value to your growth as a person, physically, spiritually, morally, psychologically, mentally, and otherwise. In any way that you look at it and what level of success you're looking for. You see, there's nothing wrong with getting your salaries or paying or getting your paycheck. But I fear that the challenge with the paycheck is that it interferes with your worth as a person. Because you're worth more than, many of us are worth more than what we get paid. Remember, I am not condemning jobs. No. I'm not condemning employment. No, absolutely not. I'm saying, but I'm taking this as an example to show that if for any reason you're working right now, but you really don't just want to depend on the pension and all of that comes after all, but you want to have something on the side, or even before the pension, you want to be able to begin to have time for your family and other things, but your job doesn't give you that. You've got two options: stay there, stuck 100%, or take out time to start developing yourself so that you could do something else. I can apply this to any other thing. It could just be that you want to become a public speaker, but you're afraid of the stage. Now, your comfort zone can become a seductress. How do I mean? You're comfortable, the back seat, sitting down, but you want to become a public speaker. Or you want to be good at public delivery. You've got to make out the time to create manuscript, to create transcript or whatever, to create outlines, all right, to create speaking programs if you like, and even in your room, begin to stand in front of the camera and begin to deliver, and maybe in front of a mirror, begin to deliver, or find help somewhere, find a coach, find a mentor. Whatever you do, just don't stay static. But the decision to move is a critical one. And many people in different facets of their lives have just refused to move. So ask yourself, what is stopping me from moving? You see, if you are not fully committed, totally committed to your progress, whatever it is, you will never succeed. If you are not totally, completely committed to your progress in whatever facet of your life you desire to progress, you will never succeed. I hope this makes sense to you. If it does, I enjoin you to share this video with your friends, your family, the people you love. Let's see if we can reach more people. I may not be able to reach all the people within your network, but if you can, reach out to them. Share this video. It is possible that it's going to touch someone and trigger someone to take action that might change their lives. And you stand to lose nothing. You stand to gain everything, because there's more happiness in giving than there is in receiving. I'd also appreciate comments. If you have comments and you have feedback you want to give with regard to this teaching, please make sure that you comment whatever platform you are watching this. And if it's on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to like this video, to share the video, and to hit on the notification bell. So whenever we put out content like this, once or twice every week for sure, then you will be able to you'll be notified and you take action immediately to get yourself educated. My name is Stallone-Obaraemi Samuel, and my sincere desire for you, my friend, is that you go on succeeding by becoming a better version of yourself. Until I come your way again, go on succeeding. Bye for now.